mic work?
Hello?
Well then, fuck that mic!
What are we doing? What are we doing?
You're listening to the only podcast that admits they might know what they are talking about.
I hope everyone has a ball.
This is We Might Know Sports.
Yeah, this is nice.
Come on! I love you!
With Kevin.
Don't listen to Steffan and his crumble.
And Steffan.
Say my name right if you're gonna come on this fucking show, dude.
Because they came to whose house?
We like sports and we don't care who knows.
Where are we at in society today?
I feel like it just destroyed like my life in general.
No forget Jesus, people!
There's a no-hitter right now. Bottom of the seventh. Oh, never mind. No longer a no-hitter.
Wow!
Without Jerry McNamara, we would have won 10 fucking games this year.
Can I get on this?
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen.
I said Sam Darby. Sam Darby for Heisman.
Sam Darnold?
Darnold, whatever his name is. Ronald.
Say his name right if you're on the damn show.
Buckle up, buckaroo.
And here we go.
Oh. It's the Kevin and Steffan show.
Hey.
You know, since our hip-hop head master Corey Flex isn't with us, little 50 Cent. Well, at least the instruments, 'cause, I mean, the actual song will get us pulled. So, we have that. We've got a lot to cover. It's our favorite time of the year. College basketball well underway. Steffan's been busy being a vet. I've been busy making things the same color as my shirt.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, on the other side it's blue, so...
I think you're either going to have to fully invest in a complete wardrobe of that color or just keep wearing that same shirt every week.
You do realize I have like 10 of those shirts.
Of that same shirt? Or 10
Same
of those
color.
shirts in that color?
Same color.
Yeah.
Comes with being a Syracuse fan.
You would think I would have more, but I don't.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
All right. And I just noticed on the Facebook page, as we're live, I put no Corey, so Kevin and Steffan will probably, and left it at that. So fill in the blank, folks. Because,
Choose your own adventure, folks.
right now,
What do you want us probably to do?
I mean, we could fight, but that's a given. There was a bet given last week. We'll get to in a little bit. And I'm watching UConn all of a sudden dominate South Florida in women's college basketball. You know, Gino, one of the greatest coaches ever, according to Steffan and I, at least.
I actually wanted to get into that today again, but Corey's not here, so it's kind of pointless.
Yeah, we'll get into it next week, probably. Maybe we should do like a women's show, too. I just remembered I also have to reschedule my dentist appointment now that we're doing this on Tuesdays, so I'll get on that. So let's dive into this. What do I got first on the list here?
What do you got?
NBA. Something I'm really good. After trading away a lot of their players, the Cleveland Cavaliers started to roll, and now not so much. What's going on with them, Steffan?
I mean, I did not. I didn't like the moves to begin with. I think that the moves make them younger. It makes them better defensively. But do I think that they're more talented? I wouldn't say they're more talented. I think it's once the novelty wears off of, ooh, we're playing with LeBron, you're going to start to see them come back to earth.
LeBron? I mean,
LeBron makes everybody around him better. So, I mean, you can get some subpar or even average players and elevate them to another level, but
yeah.
But are they going? They can't consistently play at that level. I don't think so.
What would make him be able to do that? Do you think? Like, I
mean, the players or the team or
the
what?
Team, because it's way too early. They're what, like half game ahead of fourth place?
Yeah, something like that. They obviously can't make any more trades or anything, so they've got the team they've got. That's.
I mean, they are a half game ahead of the Indiana Pacers.
The Pacers are playing well, so they could easily take that spot. I don't know. I mean, I know LeBron's been stepping his game up a little bit. I think he's just going to have to play on a whole other level than he's even probably since he's probably a level that he hasn't played in since his early years in Cleveland, when he had like Verjao and like Mo Williams and a bunch of people that weren't that great, but they were decent.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he was able to carry those teams to championships and stuff. Not to win a championship, but at least to the championship game, the finals. So I think he's if he wants to get them there, he's going to have to carry them himself. I don't know if he has that much in him still. I wouldn't doubt him. I would never bet against him. I feel like in the NBA, if you ever bet against LeBron, I've only done it a few times and
bet against LeBron.
Yeah, it usually doesn't pan out so well. I remember the one year they beat the Warriors. I bet against them in the finals, and I was not happy so I think they ended up like coming back from like 3-1 or I don't even remember. I think it was 3-1, wasn't it? Something like that.
Something where they should have had it put away.
Yeah. Just can't count him out. I mean, dude's just a completely different player than anybody else in the league.
I mean, you're going from Cleveland in the East, who's been falling apart all year. Everyone was like, oh, they're going to be back with Golden State. And then speaking of being back with Golden State, Houston all of a sudden coming together when it matters most towards the end of the season here, taking first place from Golden State by half a game. Do we see Houston Golden State being basically the game that determines the NBA Finals?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember if we were talking about it on the podcast. Were we talking about on the podcast about the different playoffs, combining all the teams?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think realistically, I mean, Houston and Golden State are the best teams in the league right now. So I think if we get that matchup in the Western Conference Finals, I would consider that basically the NBA Finals in my eyes. Then it's just basically going through the motions against beating the team in the East. But that's how you end up losing finals, and if you just go through the motions. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that didn't work out for me in college basketball, so, I mean, I'm definitely sure it translates to the NBA or any sport. Sorry, just trying to get us some more viewers other than the one Corey. Hi, Corey. All right. Anything else you want to talk about from the NBA? We're going to kind of fly through a lot of these to get to college basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been following the NBA too much. My focus kind of shifts over to college basketball at this point.
The madness is ripe.
I can't get enough of it, so. But give it another month and I'll be back in my full NBA swing.
Full NBA action. All right. Well, then it is now time. All right, I'm gonna play this anyways. Helps if I have the volume turned up, huh? Whoops.
Sometimes helps.
It's time for Corey's NASCAR update. All right. I mainly just like the car sound effects. With that, let's take a dive into... Whoa, that's weird. Like flipped somehow on my video all of a sudden. That's a good sign, right? When things start malfunctioning midstream. Huh? Alright, so let's take a look at our NASCAR standing update. Race number 2 was in Las Vegas and was pretty much dominated by Kevin Harvick, who won this race. I believe it's 2 in a row for Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, that's what I noticed that.
And that's why I'm picking him this week.
On the high end.
Corey finally gets a win under his belt. Still keeps him in third place with 79 points overall. I'm in second with no wins and 89 points. Consistency is what I'm looking at. Going for the long haul. And then Steffan with his first defeat of the season with a measly 43 points and 131 total. Taking David Blaney this weekend in Phoenix.
David Blaney. That's not right.
That's not right? That's not who you're taking?
Isn't his name Ryan Blaney?
I don't know. It seemed good. You could have just went with it. Ryan Blaney.
David Blaine. I know David Blaine.
I don't even know where I got David Blaney from. Sounds like a football player I used to know or something, maybe. I don't know.
Something.
So, there you have Corey's NASCAR update.
Thanks, Corey.
I know it's an oval. I know it's not a road track. I know it's in Phoenix, Arizona, so it's going to be a little warmer. Those tires are going to stick to the track. I think.
I had to start picking, some lesser racers, apparently, because Corey says I'm taking all the good racers in the beginning.
I mean, to be fair, in this league, I think you're good until about the chase, and then you can apparently just, like, as long as you finish in the top 2, you can pretty much dominate after that.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely have to become first or second in our league because, as Corey found out last year, saving all his racer guesses for last did not work out.
No, it didn't work out at all for him.
So
it's not working out for him again. So,
I mean, it's a long season. What were we talking about? 38 races in a year, so plenty of time for anything to happen. Who knows? I mean, I had a giant lead in college basketball. How'd that work out for me? I mean, took me to the last week to get the regular season championship.
You had like a pretty good lead in NASCAR last year too, and then I kind of snuck in and stole it towards the end.
Stupid chase reset all the points.
Yeah,
I think I saved that sheet, and I think if I looked at it, I was like, good 200 points ahead of you guys.
Yeah,
because I never had a racer that pulled in a 1 or a 0.
Right.
Well, no, I had 1. I was close. I didn't have a 0 though. So we'll see how we go from there. I have no idea what we're doing next.
I don't know did any of us have a 0? I thought you had a 2 or something. You never had a 1 though.
I was close.
Something like that.
It was close to 0. I know I was close to whatever we were trying to avoid, but I need to pull that up. So our next fun tidbit. I don't have a UFC open, so we'll just dive right into our picks. Apparently I don't have it sized right though, so we'll do some editing on the fly. Steffan was in a little coma, so
yeah,
I wasn't prepared as much, but whatever,
I wasn't. I was out of it. Taco Bell knocked me out.
It usually does. All right. So we had UFC 222, I believe is what I'm reading on my screen. Sorry, my eye kind of just like dried out right as I was reading. March 3rd, which was this past Saturday in Las Vegas. Frankie Edgar versus Brian Ortega. Ortega with the KO in the first round. Basically stunned Frankie and now is on his way to fight Max Holloway. Right now they're saying July card with Cormier and what's his nuts? Miocic.
I love what's his nuts.
What's his nuts? And hopefully it'll happen in July, but you got to remember Holloway's got a broken foot. Who knows how long that's going to take to recover from. Could we see an interim belt? Probably. They like to pass them out like candy lately, so who knows. And then the main event on 3 weeks' notice, Chris Cyborg with the knockout of Yana Konsak. I've heard it been pronounced like all day today, and
You've been practicing it, man. I know you have.
Konaskaya.
Konaskaya.
And yeah, she got one punch in the face and was like scared out of her mind. So
Game over.
she did do a little jujitsu on the ground, but I mean, nothing Cyborg could not escape.
Right.
She was also fighting 10 pounds up above her weight class on short notice, so I mean, it is what it is. It's good to see Cyborg in fight that quickly. She's been known to take her time with her next match lately with UFC, claiming discrimination and all that good jazz. So nice to see that be solved, apparently. Next fight is... Did you watch any of it? No.
I did not catch any of it, no. I was... that was Saturday night? Yeah. I was...
Getting tipsy?
Yeah, it was a rough weekend.
Next UFC pay-per-view, UFC 223. April 7th in Brooklyn. Apparently Corey just likes to... He already knows what he knows, so you see his predictions, Steffan.
Oh, yeah.
But let's go over the standings now, actually. Because Steffan's got 2 points.
I'm on the board.
He's on the board.
I have a chance to get out of last place.
3 fights. All you need is that one good, lucky guess.
Yep.
And you are all set. All right. Helps if you... Easy, steady. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the only thing separating you and Corey is you both have gotten one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys didn't get those perfect, you guys would be down closer to me and Ben.
You know, I've only gotten one fight wrong, too. That's the funny part.
Yeah. We're like opposites.
So it's Khabib, Tony Ferguson. Hopefully that fight comes through. We'll talk more in a couple of weeks. What, the week after or the week of the championship game?
Yeah, I don't know when the actual championship. It'll probably be
right around there.
I'm guessing it's going to be the weekend after the championship. So the championship game will be that Monday.
And then Rose versus Joanna. So we'll see how that take 2 happens. Probably the same result. Not gonna lie.
Hey.
I like Joanna.
Give her a chance, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, I gotta get some pizza ordered. I'm gonna call up Papa John's because I only support companies that support the NFL. Oh wait, they're no longer NFL sponsored. Now I'm gonna have to pick Pizza Hut. Damn it. Basically, all this move does, where Papa John's is no longer the NFL sponsor, is says goodbye to those fun commercials with Peyton Manning and Papa John's on game days, and you're gonna probably see more Pizza Hut and that nonsense. I wonder, does Pizza Hut have any like sponsor, like sponsored athletes?
I don't know.
Michael Phelps, maybe. I don't know.
Is this? I thought I read somewhere is that the reason that they were dropping off as an NFL sponsor was because of apparently they were losing so much business from all the protesting and stuff.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Pizza Hut then would sign, and
Right, yeah, but then Pizza Hut has no problem jumping on right after him. So
24 hours later.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that if Papa John's was really losing that much business, another pizza place would be like, yeah, I'll jump on in there.
It might be just because your pizza sucks. Who knows? Yeah. I mean, Pizza Hut's not that great either. Let's be honest. Any fast food pizza, it's good because it's pizza. You know, it's very hard to mess up a pizza. Although CenturyLink Field, you have done so. I mean, basically any stadium pizza is the only type of pizza I try to avoid. Because I remember some bad Sbarro at the Carrier Dome too. So
how are you gonna hate on CenturyLink like that? Yeah,
I hate it on the Dome too. Jeez. The NFL Combine just happened. Did you pay attention? I didn't really pay attention.
Caught a little bit. I mean,
other than Shaq Barkley from UCF, the one-handed
he's got an arm there.
Linebacker. I mean, what was it? 4.38, 40.
Yeah.
I mean, freaking blazing away.
It was nuts. It was almost. I mean, what did they say? Was that the fastest ever by a linebacker? Is that what I heard?
Yeah. And I think it was the third fastest by anyone over, like, I want to say 260.
Oh, probably, yeah.
I believe
he was a big boy.
Yeah. I think the fastest was held by, who was it? Kelvin Johnson. So I think maybe it was 255, because that seems pretty heavy for a wide receiver, but I mean, he was pretty big for a receiver. And then I also saw Rich Eisen's annual 40-yard dash be upstaged by Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell in a suit and all.
I mean, it
was impressive.
I'm not a Goodell fan, and I was pretty impressed with that little sprint.
I have to say I was impressed.
I still don't like you, so no props. But I mean,
still an asshole.
How fast were our 40s? You remember?
Mine was under 5 seconds, right? I had one under 5.
No, I think I retimed it. It was like 5.2 when we went back. We thought it was like a 4.6 or something like that.
Yeah, something crazy. I knew it wasn't right. I was like, that can't be right. There's no way. I think Corey got a little trigger happy.
Yeah. Oh, he's coming at me. Stop.
He's still 10 yards away. Hold on.
But I think ours were like 6.2. I think the fastest non-combine 40 I had was like 5.8. So I'm right with them. Some old white guys. Just means I gotta get in shape. Get ready. Let's move on to some free agency news. The start of the new year, I believe, is coming up March. Actually, I think it was March 1st. I know players had to be designated to franchise tags and whatnot today. And then I believe they're able to tamper with players, which is kind of fun way to say basically talk to players. On
the other time,
14th.
tampering is illegal.
Yeah.
We'll give you this certain period of time where you can tamper all you want.
Yeah, just can't sign yet.
Yeah.
What did we get out of that, Steffan?
Out of
any talks? Anything happening?
Well, I heard I didn't read an article, but somebody had told me that apparently the Eagles have been not necessarily shopping Nick Foles, but they're listening to offers for Nick Foles. But I think that their asking price is going to be a lot higher than anybody wants to pay for him. So I think he's going to end up being there at the beginning of the season, unless I don't think anybody's going to pay the price that the Eagles want. But I guess somebody told me that Buffalo had offered them a second round pick, which is pretty decent. I mean, I get like where the Eagles are coming from. Like, I mean, he's a Super Bowl MVP now.
So weird to hear that. Super Bowl MVP.
I mean, you do have that hanging over his head, so it's like, I mean, you don't just give away Super Bowl MVPs every day.
But is he worth it?
I mean, he went. I don't know if it's just he might be a system guy. I mean, if somebody can get him in the right system, obviously, what the system he went to with the Rams was not good for him, and then he didn't really do much with the Chiefs. Well, I don't know. I'm more interested in this. What's going on with the Vikings? I'm curious to see what they're going to do.
Well, they did not tag Case Keenum, which means they're probably looking at Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting. I mean,
I've
you have
seen
three
that,
quarterbacks any team would kill for. That doesn't have a quarterback, and we're gonna go. You know what? Let's not even worry about them. We'll go with this guy, Kirk Cousins. What's he done?
I don't understand.
I've never been impressed with Kirk Cousins.
He's like fantasy wise, he does put up numbers. I'm not impressed with him to lead a team.
Yeah.
Yes, but fantasy wise, he does put up some pretty good numbers. I feel like he's kind of like that Jay Cutler-esque, maybe a little bit better than that. Where
I was gonna say
a little more often having the good games than Jay Cutler does, and not really having as many of the disaster of games that Jay Cutler has. But I mean, Kirk Cousins is the hot commodity right now. Everybody that's looking for a quarterback is in on him. I know the Cardinals are making a push for him. I believe the Jets are too. So I don't know what the hell Cleveland's doing. They probably think that they probably think fucking what's his face there, Deshaun Kaiser's still their quarterback of the future. Still can't believe I fucking dropped Deshaun Watson to have Deshaun Kaiser instead. But anyways.
This isn't fantasy hour.
Just some things I just can't get over, and that's one of the things.
Your team wins a Super Bowl, and you're still upset about your fantasy team, huh?
Team wins the Super Bowl. I won the fantasy football championship. I mean, life's gonna be better for me. The NFL world. One NFL pick 'em. I mean, I'm living life over here.
Living the dream.
Living the dream. I like seeing where a lot of these big names go. I don't know how many. I mean, what other big names are really out there this year?
Well, Sammy Watkins.
Oh yeah.
He did not get. Well, he couldn't be tagged, so either the Rams are gonna have to sign him to a really big deal, or he's going free agency.
heard from some of my Buffalo diehards that they really hope he comes back to Buffalo.
Yeah. You know what? I don't like warm, sunny days.
Yeah. Let me go back to where it's cold for 75% of the year.
6 feet of snow that I have to be shoveled out so I can play football in December.
Yeah.
To not... What was the Bills' chance right now? 101 to win the Super Bowl?
I'd be surprised if they got that much.
Let's see here. Just Sheldon Richardson, the defensive tackle from the Seahawks, did not get tagged.
Did they end up tagging Le'Veon Bell?
I just see winners and losers. I don't see.
Oh.
Let's see.
I know that's
here.
like a big thing every year about Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell is a loser. Yeah, the $14.54 million is nice, but that's not what he wants. He wants a long-term deal. So, I mean,
Did he get a 1-year deal, or did he get tagged?
He got tagged.
Oh wow.
So we'll see what happens there. Because I mean,
I thought that he said if he got tagged this year, he wasn't like he said he wasn't. He'd sit out the whole year or something like that.
yeah, but he said
I know
that
how that
last
goes.
year. And
It's a lot of talk. They'll sit out like the whole like off season, and then be like, all right, I guess I'll show up now.
And you know what? If you're a Steelers fan, you kind of want that. Or at least him to sit out the whole preseason because he didn't get hurt this year. It's the first season he hasn't gotten hurt.
He's one of those players that doesn't need that off season. No. He can come out and play just fine. But yeah, that's they need to figure out what they're going to do with him. Either pay the man or let him go. Get him the deal, or you can't just keep
let him go.
Can't just keep tagging him. You're not going to make him too happy.
Let's see here. The LA Rams tagged LaMarcus Joyner.
Who the fuck?
I believe he is a safety. Yes.
Oh, I think I saw that too.
So he's getting paid $21 million, I believe.
Wow.
So who the hell is making a little bit of money for this year?
That's crazy. I don't think the Eagles tagged anybody this year. Not that I've seen anyway.
What else do we have? Jerry Jones. NFL wants your money that they spent on you.
This is like reality TV. Like, it's just like two old guys just feuding with each other constantly.
Yeah, re-sign him. Oh, he suspended my best player? Okay, fuck you too. I want him not to be re-signed.
Yeah.
Oh, well, guess what? I got re-signed, bitch, and now you're owing me $2 million. Pay up.
This is basically just your classic case of who has a bigger dick.
And is this the end, really? I mean, I think this is just the tip. But,
pun intended.
Is it $2 million a huge deal to Jerry Jones? No. But do you see him actually paying this?
Probably not. I mean, he's going to fight it to every extent. He'll probably pay more to fight it than he does to actually. Yeah.
And not to mention, who's to say the NFL is just not going to be like, you know what? We're going to hold $2 million of our revenue sharing that you're due, and you get $2 million less than what you're owed.
Yeah.
Problem solved. You're welcome. Making the NFL great again.
It's really just two old guys just trying to one up each other. And
no one likes either of you, so shut the fuck up. Like,
both of them could fade off into the sunset, and not a single person would fucking care, except for Dallas Cowboy fans.
I don't even know if Cowboy fans really like Jerry. They're like, oh, Grandpa's off his meds again. Like,
I do think that the more years that go by without them winning a Super Bowl, they've gotten a little antsy with Jerry Jones.
Yeah. Where's all this winning you promised us? Oh, I haven't even really gone over this stuff, so this is gonna be new to me. I gotta get closer to read some of these. So the rules committee's been meeting the past couple of weeks. I know they're talking about what is a catch.
That's the hot topic, and even Goodell said that he was gonna try to figure this one out over the offseason.
No idea exactly.
I don't think it's just crazy because like every week there's something that happens that makes you question what the fuck is a catch, you know? And I mean, I just don't think that there's any possible way to actually like have a like a consensus thing that everybody agrees on that is a catch, or to like at least where you can look at it and be like, yeah, that's definitely, unless you just basically like the rule has been where you have to hold on to it throughout. I don't know, but they haven't really been following that.
Sorry.
But basically what they're saying is they're going to get rid of the ground portion of the catch rule. So apparently if you hit the ground now, it counts as a catch.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, so like, I believe it's the Kelvin Johnson. Oh crap! Video's gonna start playing. Back off.
Yeah, I know the Kelvin Johnson catch you're talking about.
I mean,
that one I consider a catch.
Yeah.
But then there's the whole thing where now they're saying that the Dez catch was a catch.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find the article without noise.
I don't understand. I don't know what the whole point of that was.
If you were to sit there and define,
like, oh yeah, that catch from years ago, that was actually a catch.
Like that's
what good does that do anybody?
Yeah, let's pump the brakes. What would you define a catch? Because in my mind, all right, what was the play from one of the championship games where the guy had the ball, crossed the plane of the goal line, and then when he hit the ground, he fumbled it? Well, didn't fumble, but it was ruled incomplete because it hit the ground. And you know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to think.
The only one I'm thinking of was that Steelers one, but that wasn't in the playoffs.
All right, well maybe it was that.
That was like late in the season, the Steelers New England game.
Yeah.
Where he caught it.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like the same as that Zach Ertz catch in the Super Bowl.
And they got it right.
In my eyes, the Zach Ertz catch, I don't think the ball ever actually touched the ground. I think he hit the ground, his arms like pinched it out, and it shot up in the air, and then he caught it. Where the other one, but in my eyes, I think once you break the plane of the goal line, that's a touchdown. Any other time, all you have to do is break the plane, and it's a touchdown. Yeah. Why is it any different with a catch?
And that's my complaint about that. Like, if a running back can run the ball, get across the plane, and still have possession until he hits the ground, it's ruled a touchdown. Right. Why isn't that the same for? Yeah.
All you have to do is literally break the plane. Once you break the plane, the ball can get hit out of your hand, but that's a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that any different than a catch? Once you catch the ball, you break the plane, it should be a touchdown.
Should. But is
it? I agree with you on that one. I don't like agreeing with you, but I'll agree with you on that one.
Yeah. A lot of agreement coming up. All right. What are some other rules?
I think this one's interesting. The max 15-yard penalty on pass interference pass interference penalties. See, in my eyes, I feel like that would like make people like say like you're getting beat on a long, like somebody's just burning by you, and basically they have a touchdown but then you decide, oh, I'm just going to tackle the guy.
Yeah.
You know, and then you only have to go 15 yards, like, and you were like already like 60 yards down the field or something.
Yeah.
But from what I was reading, they say that they already do this in college football, and it doesn't really happen that often, I guess.
So this rule exists in college football, but I think for like examples you're saying, it should be a spot foul then.
Right.
You know, like
if you like intentionally like if you could tell,
malicious.
I can understand like if some of the pass interference where the guy has his head turned and
yeah,
the receiver knows where the ball is and he doesn't, and he just kind of runs into the receiver.
Yeah.
Like he's not like intentionally trying to stop you from scoring a touchdown. Like you weren't gonna break away and score a touchdown more than likely anyway.
Yeah.
But I think it should be like almost kind of like the clear path fouls that they have like in the NBA and stuff.
Yeah.
Where like
all about the NBA.
Yeah. So I think we can agree with that. I think it's they'd have to tweak it in my eyes.
That's two things we're agreeing on, Steffan.
Yeah, this is getting weird.
That's it. What is there any more?
Yeah, there are more.
All right. Maybe we'll find one then.
I don't know if I like this one. They want to change the targeting rule to the player being ejected after replay confirms targeting.
I thought that was already the case. I thought they had to review it in order to eject the player.
But I don't think they get ejected. Is the thing. I think they get fined. They don't get ejected from the game.
Pretty sure they get ejected.
I think in college they get ejected.
Oh, maybe that's where I'm getting it up. I like that. I'm fine with that. If they look at a replay and view he was like intentionally going, like some of the other ones where it's like, he was just trying to make a tackle.
I just feel like it could completely change a game. Like, I don't know, like, because I feel like sometimes
if you're trying
players,
I feel like if you're trying to prevent the thing from happening.
Yeah,
a good way is to use the stick a lot, like no,
right.
And eventually maybe that'll force them to really think about like going in, like.
But I just feel like there's so many times where somebody starts off going for a tackle, at their chest or something, and all of a sudden the guy comes down with his head, and now it's targeting because they hit him in the head.
Well, then you should.
Those are like probably far and few between, but.
Yeah,
I just think something like that, and then you basically have to put that judgment call in the ref's hands, and I mean, the ref basically has the end all be all of changing possibly the outcome of the game.
Well, that's like that all the time anyway.
Yeah, but you're not ejecting players.
Maybe I'm just feeling the pain of like UFC matches gone wrong and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Then there's this one. Apparently, they want to make sure refs enforce illegal contact by defensive players. I guess like every year, depending on like how the offenses play or something. I guess this was a down year for passing. I think passing offense, and so whenever they have like a down year, they like. In their little meeting, like tell the refs to like start enforcing the illegal contact more. So then, like the following year, you'll see a lot more penalties
early on.
Like anything past the 5-yard limit they have there. So you'll probably see a big year for quarterbacks and receivers next year. And then this one is actually pretty interesting. They want to allow teams to hire coaches and complete the deal before they are eliminated from playoffs. And this is solely because of, one, Mr. Josh McDaniels backing out of his verbal agreement with the Colts and deciding to, after further discussing it with Mr. Belichick, deciding he wants to, I'll stay here.
You honestly think Belichick had something to do with it, not Kraft?
I mean, it was probably more Kraft, yeah. But, Belichick, I feel like, had to be part of it. I'm sure, like, Belichick was like, I'm going to retire soon or something. Like, I don't think that. I think once Brady's done, Belichick's probably done, and they probably, Kraft and Belichick were probably like, you should just stick it out and you can take over once I'm done. And then you don't have to try to bring a mediocre team to the playoffs.
It would be wise of you not to go against the family. Kiss the ring. Except the one the Russian guy took. There's nothing I can do about that. Putin is a very powerful man. Alright, let's not go political here.
Yeah, come on.
Reel it back in.
Reel it back in, Kevin.
Alright. Sorry, just getting excited. We're almost to game time. 12 minutes away.
Oh, boy.
Alright. Any other rule changes that are being proposed that you know about?
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
That's all I
Steffan's
got.
NFL update.
Steffan's NFL update.
All right. Oh, I forgot. I forgot. I have all these theme music songs intros. All right. So let's move on. We might know college basketball. All right. So we might know college basketball. Our regular season has ended. We're on to conference picks. We are well underway there. But before we discuss the conference tournaments, because, good job, Big Ten. You're done a week before anyone starts to even care about college basketball.
I'm really wondering if this is going to backfire for them.
That'd be funny if all of the teams, get eliminated.
They just bust out in the first round.
Or second. They don't go to the second weekend. So
I also feel like it hurts like Michigan. I bet if they had finished on Sunday, they probably would have gotten a higher seed than what they're going to end up getting.
Yeah,
just because that'd be the most recent thing that the committee sees, and oh yeah, oh wow, look at Michigan, okay. But now it's we're going to forget about them for a week, and get all these other teams coming through.
So going in, I haven't shown the screen, but for those loyal viewers, which is done, loyal watchers, I should say, we've been doing this all college basketball. This pick'em, I jumped out to a giant lead, lost it to Corey in the last couple weeks. We've been back and forth. I think I had the lead 2 weeks ago. He took it back last week by 2 games. And then this week happened. Let's show the screen because there's a lot of blue in that middle and a lot of red in that left side, Corey's side.
I think Corey didn't really understand what we were doing for this week.
He forgot that he was choosing the winners and not the losers.
He was trying to pull his Premier League strategy.
Stefan, I'm proud of you. You managed to pull off 500 after being 20 games below. Corey had probably his worst week since week 10.
Yeah, it was a bad one for him.
So a month and a half.
Bad time for it too.
Definitely bad timing there. Stefan kind of finished strong. He went 10-4 week 12, 10-9 this past week, and then I had my best week since week 6. Going 14-5. I guess 10-5 is not too bad. But the Miami at UNC game, I believe, happened right after our podcast, and that was a good game, close game.
Buzzer beater. I wish Corey was here so I could understand what his logic is. I've never seen any team in any sport in any level not get excited when you hit a buzzer beater or you score at the buzzer to win a game.
I feel like we're going to have this discussion next week anyway.
I don't even care if I'm playing in a pickup game and I hit a buzzer beater. I'm going crazy.
I was confused by the whole situation, so I avoided that topic and just kept going on
I know
with our
you
argument.
really,
but it's just really I get the crowd being frustrated with the crowd storming the court, but this happened in North Carolina, so I at first didn't really understand what he was talking about. But Miami, what have they done? Have they ever even been to the Final Four?
I don't know. I feel like they may have made the Final Four or at least Elite Eight, but I don't think they've won a championship.
And
that's why I don't like. They're not like a power. They're not like a national. Like, yeah, they have a good team most years, but they're not like a Duke or North Carolina with like a storied tradition.
Yeah, that storied tradition of not making it far in the tournament.
I just act like you've been there before. Like, they haven't been there before, so how are they going to act like it?
I don't care. You were talking about the NBA, and I don't care if you're Duke or North Carolina. You're running out on the court,
right? That's what I'm saying.
Like,
anytime I've ever seen anybody hit a buzzer beater, the team's running out on the court.
Yeah. I remember in 4th grade, I made a buzzer beater to send it into overtime, and I got mobbed. Like,
I remember I had a buzzer beater at halftime. It didn't even matter, and everybody was congratulating me. Like, it's an exciting thing to do. It doesn't happen that often. I mean, it happens enough, but it's just I find it's one of the most exciting.
We're talking about the Miami Hurricanes, who have no Final Fours in their history. They're 8-9 in tournaments, which means they've only been to 9 tournaments overall. I mean, maybe it's a little UNC bias, but not every team makes the tournament every year, Corey.
Yeah.
Up until what? Leonard Hamilton is their head coach now?
Is that who it is?
I think
it's not that one guy anymore.
Oh, it's it is the George Mason old coach there. Leonard Hamilton's in Florida State.
Larinaga? Is that who it is?
Yeah, Larinaga. Let's see here. They made the tournament in 2017 with a first round knockout to Michigan State. Can't hate them for that. There's no recap for 2016, but they went 2-1. So they made it to the Sweet 16, and then they made it to the Sweet 16 in 2013.
I love, like, Corey's argument was, I was like, anybody would have done that. If Duke had done that, he goes, no way Duke would have done that. And then I had to, like, pull up, like, a highlight of Duke literally doing it, like, not even, like, 5 years ago.
It's not hard to find clips
at North Carolina.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't matter who you are. You're getting excited about that.
And then our second game, Syracuse at BC. I mainly picked Cuse because I needed them to win, feel comfortable about the tournament. So obviously they did not win with the 50.4 favorites. BC taking that one. I think it was a close one, right? Am I remembering this correctly? It was a week ago. I'm having a hard time remembering.
I don't even remember if it was that close. Actually, I don't think it was that close. Was it like 10-point game?
Maybe I just turned it off and didn't care. Maybe that's why I don't remember.
I don't think it ended up being that close.
Whatever. Steffan got one right. Corey and I got that one wrong. Sorry, trying not to sneeze. UNC at Duke. Yeah, UNC just has not looked hot, and they're going into this tournament with 2 losses.
So. No, what do you mean? UNC's looked. It's one of the hottest teams going into March, according to Corey. I love when he's not here, and I can just say shit about him.
It's not nice. No, it's fine because we do it about you all the time.
He'll give it back to me whenever, either through text or next podcast.
That's why I made the pick.
It's not like that's a bad loss for them. The loss earlier in the week,
a rival, whatever,
to Miami. That was a little.
They blew like a 15-point lead, but
against Duke or Miami?
Against Duke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even catch any of that game.
Saturday night. I said Saturday night. We already know.
That was another set. Yeah, Saturday night was just not a good night for me doing much of anything.
Moving on, Clemson at Syracuse. Clemson was 52.4 favored. Once again, I picked Cuse because I needed them to win something, and they came through on this one. So,
out of the two games, I probably was least expecting them to win that one, but they play better at home, so I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, and I mean, it is what it is. And Auburn at Arkansas. The freaking Tigers are stumbling into March here after winning the SEC title, regular season title. So,
there's that Arkansas team that you guys were hating on when I put in my top 25 or whatever a few weeks ago.
Still don't like them.
Still don't like them.
We'll get to that in a minute. Florida at Alabama. I've been all over Crimson Tide, and of course, Florida all of a sudden turning on their jets and kicking it into March. Watch out for them come tournament.
You know, I was looking real good in this little stretch right here.
Yeah, you got all cocky. And then all of a sudden Saturday happened, and that's where all my blue came from.
Yeah, Saturday was not a good day for me. I mean, it was halfway decent.
I don't know why Corey bit on the Oklahoma train all of a sudden, and I mean, is Oklahoma even going to make the tournament at this point? I don't think so.
I think which we'll get to it later. If what you think is going to happen happens. There's a good possibility. Mm-hmm. They might be on the outside looking in, but I think even still, like if you look at their body of work and the teams they've beaten, they're gonna get in over some of the other teams. Maybe not rightfully so, but they've just had more opportunities for bigger wins.
But doesn't the committee take into the fact of how they finish too, supposedly?
See, that's what I thought. But listening to some of the other experts, because I talk to all the experts and stuff now.
I mean, I
have my own.
You have Andy Katz and Joe Lenardi on.
But just listening to some of them guys talk, apparently they've kind of gone away from that, I guess, and it's not really. Now they're more looking at your whole body of work instead of what you've
1,
done.
2, and 3, and 4 wins.
Instead of like what you've done lately. Which is what I feel like they used to do.
I think it's a little bullshit.
I think because I think it should be based more on what you've done lately because, maybe you started off hot in the beginning of the year and then all of a sudden you end up like Oklahoma and don't look good at all towards the end of the year. Is that team really going to look any different in March?
I mean,
probably not.
Is it fair that you can't even beat your own conference and you're going to get into the NCAA tournament? Like, I'd rather see a mid-major make it than Oklahoma at this point.
I mean, and probably another
Team Bonaventure!
Probably another factor of putting them in is going to be the Trae Young. Even though he hasn't looked great in this stretch, he's still an exciting player. And he won't have to be battling against all these Big 12 teams that he's been battling for the past 2-3 months. So maybe he'll actually be able to go off again because these teams won't know him as well as the Big 12.
Well, the secret's out.
Yeah, I know the secret's out. I get that, but it's a matter of whether you can actually pull it off or not.
All right. Well, the Cuse game's about to kick off, so you're about to lose me. So let's get through these. All right. All right.
I gotta get off the SMU bandwagon here because there is no bandwagon. It's just me. It's just me following SMU and like a fucking little red wagon, one of those little red flyer wagons. It's just me and SMU. That's it. Gotta let them go.
And he made us review Middle Tennessee State.
Yep, then I picked against them.
In this game, which backfired. I believe they lost to Marshall.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
Again, their 2 conference losses are to the same team, so Marshall's got their number.
Should have picked that one.
Rhode Island.
I'm off the Rhode Island bandwagon, that's for sure.
Davidson in overtime, I believe it was. Or was it just a buzzer beater?
I can't remember.
I mean, this game I thought it was over. They had like 11-point lead and somehow lost it to lose by 2. I think. Don't quote me. I don't know.
It was a close game either way.
Yeah, the game Rhode Island needed, because now that's 3 out of their last 4, and that 4th one was a win in overtime over LaSalle.
Yeah, not one of the top teams in the Atlantic 10.
So
actually, one of the very bottom.
They're kind of drunk stumbling into this Atlantic 10 tournament, and
yeah. I liked the way they were looking there for a while. I thought they had good guard play, and
maybe this is what they needed. This is the tournament. Who knows? Kentucky at Florida. Corey's all over Calipari's D.
Florida looked good this week. Got a couple big wins. Get them back in the.
You guys know my feelings about Kentucky, so that's why I didn't choose them. Virginia Tech at Miami. Hopped on that hurricane. I think you were going for an upset at this point, like just trying to gain some ground.
I just don't like Miami that much. I mean, when a team loses to Syracuse, I usually don't like them too much. So.
Yeah, especially at home.
Yeah.
I just feel like Virginia Tech's that team that's like they look to their next game, and I think this was like, I don't know. There's something about Virginia Tech. They only show up when it really matters against like bigger teams.
Yeah.
Like they don't look at their current game.
Neither team is really great.
I'm not having either of them make it to the second weekend unless they have like a golden parachute trip to the Sweet 16.
Right.
Like Syracuse did a couple years ago, supposedly. I mean,
Jesus Christ. Let's not even get into that. That could be a whole podcast on itself.
We'll talk about it after the show. No. What we got
Alabama,
here? Alabama,
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. I jumped off.
I cannot
Alabama.
get a fucking read on this Texas A&M team, dude.
You can't even get a read on Alabama, apparently,
either.
either.
You can't get a read on either of them. They're both so fucking confusing. I can't get a read on Stanford, though.
Well, I can get a read on Arizona State, and I can tell you they're not gonna. If they make the tournament, they're not gonna make noise.
Remember when you thought that Arizona and Arizona State were gonna play in the Pac-12 championship?
Did I even pick that? I don't even think I did.
No, because they play in literally that's Arizona's first game will be against Arizona State if Arizona State wins their first game.
Yeah.
So it's basically the second round of the Pac-12.
Well, that'll be an exciting second round matchup.
A little earlier than you thought it was going to be, but let's also point out the fact that Corey scoffed at the idea of a team with an 85% chance of losing.
Yeah. What happened there, Corey?
Corey.
I'm gonna have to.
Twice this week. Happened twice this week. Both teams were at home too. What happened there, Corey?
Both times I picked the other team too.
Yeah.
What was it gonna do? I'll look up that clip and have it ready for us next week. How about that?
All right.
You're like, hey Corey, you remember this? Ha! Creighton at Marquette. I hopped on the Marquette bandwagon with you.
Marquette
that was actually a close game. I remember watching this game.
Marquette's played some close ones. I feel like they've just been on the wrong side of a lot of them.
I have no idea what happened in Missouri, Arkansas. So
yeah, I don't know either.
I mean, I got the W. That's all that matters, I guess.
This is one of Corey's favorite teams, Stephen F. Austin.
I don't understand your pick, but okay.
You know, I try to find upsets. That one didn't happen.
And then the next game, St. Bonnie. I know you were.
I've been waiting for a long time for St. Bonnie to lose, and they just
12 in a row, baby. Let's go all the way to the tournament. We'll do some shotguns and some beers, and
I need them to lose like their first game in that Atlantic 10.
Nah, they're not gonna.
That's my only chance of them not making a tournament, possibly.
And sending a 12-pack of deliciousness to my way. And then the game of the week. That was actually a really good one.
It was 1 point game. Came down to the came down to the wire. Wichita State had a chance.
I feel like it was a
come away.
blown play. Like they missed the shot, had the rebound, and the tip-in didn't really like work out. It looked like it hit the backboard. I think. Am I thinking of the right game?
I think so.
All right. Well, without further ado, mainly because it's the last poll that doesn't really matter. I mean, none of the polls really matter, but our top 25, without further ado, Virginia, all the votes. All the votes.
All the votes.
Xavier, Villanova, Duke, and Gonzaga are tied at 4. With Michigan State, Michigan after their tournament. I mean, basically doing the complete opposite of one another. One dropping 5, one gaining 5. I think that's quick math for you. I don't know if that's right.
One gaining 5 or losing 5, one gaining 6.
Close enough. Potato.
Math is hard. That's
yeah.
okay.
Hey, I passed with a 90 or 80 something. I got a B plus. I'm good.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. B's get degrees.
Yeah.
So do C's.
Sometimes D's. But
sometimes D's.
Kansas 9 and Arizona wrapping up the top 10. St. Bonaventure was a shocking addition thanks to one Steffan Saxby.
You're welcome.
Was that just because you felt bad for me, or
they keep winning? I can't keep saying they're not decent because they're obviously decent.
Only one to
they've been beating the decent, the better teams in the fucking Atlantic 10. So you can't really say that. I mean, they beat Rhode Island. They beat Davidson.
Didn't Nevada lose 2 in a row?
No, I think they just lost 1 this week.
Oh, yeah. Who was the one?
Up.
Rhode Island was the one that lost 2 in a row that I was wondering why.
Yeah.
They're barely in the AP, so I guess I'm fine.
I really wanted to drop them out of mine, but I didn't. I couldn't think of another team to put in there.
You didn't want to throw in a Loyola Chicago like I did?
No, I wasn't.
New Mexico State.
I don't want to steal your thunder.
Murray State.
No. Not doing it.
Not doing it. Kentucky dropped from our top 25 again. Shocking. I know.
They like to dabble for a week and then they're back out.
Our next poll will come out in 4 weeks? Sorry, I was looking for a score. I got bad setup here. I can't see the score with the router in the way, so if you lose connection, it's because I just pulled the cord. Oh, 6-0 Syracuse. All right, we're on our way. All right, so
we'll do one more poll at the end of the tournament
after the national championship. I mean, everyone's going to put the national champion as number 1. If not,
I might not. I think I'm just going to throw Gonzaga up there, no matter where they finish.
No matter where they finish. All right, well, smart ass, let's start with your picks so far. Big Ten tournament has finished Michigan the champion, and none of us picked them.
None of us.
I think how this is going to work is basically whoever gets the most amount of blue wins this conference shindig. Sound good?
Yeah. Just go straight up, no points system.
No, because then you're getting too complicated.
Yeah.
How about this?
We'll do it.
You get 2
point
points
system for the.
Maybe you should get 2 points for the champion. Get a little extra.
I say that's fair.
Because I mean that's a little rough. I mean
some of them were easier to pick, like the WCC tournament,
like Gonzaga, and you could go with the easy shoe-in. I mean, I guess.
Watch them get upset by BYU tonight.
Yeah, I mean BYU looked pretty good last night. But let's talk about the Big Ten. Right. You went with Purdue. You got a lot right. I mean, Minnesota was your dark horse, I guess, and it turned out to be Rutgers. So if you had gone Rutgers, you would have been good. Corey's, how did he do? Not as good. Went with Maryland. Once again, Rutgers kind of ruined everyone's bracket on the bottom there. But his semifinals were right, and then Michigan State was wrong.
So he got 8 right. I got 10 right.
And then mine, once again, Rutgers.
Ours were fairly similar.
Yeah,
So
I think I lost the point with Illinois, so so I'll be 10, I believe, then. Right?
No, you got 9. I have 10.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Math is hard. And then we'll start with me, since, I picked San Francisco.
No, you don't even have...
What?
Who else did you make wrong? 1, 2, 3.
Did you count?
Oh, no, I'm counting wrong. Never mind.
All right.
Yep, you got 9.
And then add 4 more, right? For me, from the WCC. My bracket's toast, so it doesn't matter. So right now I'm standing at a pretty 13.
13.
Corey has 5, right, so far.
He's got 13 as well. With a possible 15.
Yep. And then you have 13 as well, with a possible...
Oh, I got 14.
Oh, yeah, because you have 10. Sorry. Forgot.
14.
Yeah, we're working on our math skills right now, folks. Bear with us.
You've been doing some day drinking, Kevin.
This is beer number 2, so... It doesn't taste that good either right now. After my last beer. Oh.
I think the only tournament going on right now is the ACC tournament, right?
I believe so. Everything else starts tomorrow because I think they finish Sunday, most of these tournaments that we got going.
Yep. Either Saturday or Sunday, I think.
I mean, the WCC obviously finishes tonight, but...
Yeah.
So, Big 10, or Big 12, you can discuss your bracket, and then we'll take turns discussing Corey's.
So, I've got... the Big 12 is just a hard conference to read. I feel like every team in this conference can beat each other. I got Oklahoma hopefully pulling off a little upset here against Oklahoma State. I don't think they'll beat Kansas again, as they did earlier in the year. I think Kansas, although they had a little setback there against Oklahoma State, I think they're still the team to beat, and I think they'll come out of the Big 12. West Virginia has been playing decent lately. They had a little stretch there where they weren't playing well, but I think they're another team it's tough. I think Texas Tech's one and done. I think Texas is going to pull off the upset. I think you're just going to see a Kansas-West Virginia final. Kansas coming out.
Readjusting our video so we're a little bit bigger on the screen. Alright, so I'll take Corey's, and then you can take Corey's Pac-12.
Okay.
So, Corey, obviously, big fan of Kansas State. Not a huge fan of TCU. Nothing to hide there from him.
He does not like TCU. He hasn't liked them since week 1.
Yeah, he is not a Jamie Dixon fan. That is for sure. So
even when they were 11-0 or something.
Yeah,
they were terrible.
The only undefeated team. They didn't play anyone.
But he loved Mississippi State, who didn't play anyone either.
And I can't have that argument because I have no idea why he was. Cause I was all on that TCU bandwagon. Still kind of am. I don't know how I.
Honestly, they lost their starting point guard, right?
Yeah,
I think
so.
They've still been playing well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's Jamie Dixon. He's got.
I was ready to write him off after they lost their point guard, but they've been playing well.
Not exactly. I filled these out on Sunday night, so I have no idea what I did. So that's gonna be a surprise to me when we go over my train of thought. I might have to do some on the fly adjustments to the turns.
Corey and my bracket look oddly similar.
Yeah, he's got Oklahoma. I think I picked Oklahoma State because of how they've been playing lately. Texas, he's all on Shaka Smarts D.
I think it's more that Texas Tech hasn't been playing well lately.
True.
I think I can't speak for him, but that's kind of where I'm going with that. And Texas has kind of been playing pretty good.
I'm Corey. This bracket.
I'm just saying.
I'm on Shaka Smart's D. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm Corey, and I'm on his D.
All right, Corey. Well, let's hear the rest of your.
Apparently, I want Texas to make the tournament. West Virginia, because go Mountain Queers.
You love a good mountain queer.
Mm-hmm. So basically not chalk for his semifinal, but he does have Kansas and West Virginia, with Kansas being the champ. Moving on to mine, which I know I don't have Kansas.
I remember looking at yours and I was like, Jesus, dude.
I got lost halfway through. I'm like, all right, so I'm going to walk you through how I got here. All right, so TCU, huge TCU fan. Jamie Dixon, love you. Didn't love you when you were at Pittsburgh, but I'm a believer in the Horned Frogs right now. And then we have Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. Not a huge fan of Oklahoma. Nothing to hide there.
Nothing new there.
And then they just beat Kansas. I'm giving them credit. So this is where I'm at that point, filling out this bracket. And then we went to Texas, Iowa State. I'm like, I like Shaka's start. Not as much. Yeah, start smart. not on his D like Corey is apparently, but I like him to get past Iowa State. Although Iowa State can be tricky.
They are a tricky team.
And then just West Virginia because it's West Virginia.
Nobody likes Baylor to pull off the upset over West Virginia. I feel like that's going to be a mistake on all of us.
Do you want to change it?
No, I don't want to change it, but
going for the conference championship. I mean, I got the 2 trophies all wrapped up. I haven't even labeled them yet, so
I feel like anytime we all pick the same team, it ends up backfiring, like St. Mary's. Bastard.
So I got TCU, Oklahoma State in the first semifinal game, and I was like, well, TCU hasn't been too hot lately. Oklahoma State just beat Kansas, maybe then they're in the mind frame. Oh, we're going to the finals. Why not?
You just had this whole Kansas Oklahoma State game in your head the entire time you were picking.
Yep.
That was all you were judging this whole tournament by.
Texas Tech, West Virginia. I was like, I'm not a huge West Virginia fan. I'm not going to hide that.
That's known.
Well known. Well documented on my Facebook page. Go ahead, check out some way old posts. Oklahoma State, Texas Tech is my final, and I was like, let's go with the higher seed.
Oklahoma State, right?
So can't win 4 games in 4 days, so let's go with Texas Tech. They're a higher seed. They struggled coming into the tournament. Whatever, no big deal. All right, so that's my train of thought that happened filling out that bracket.
You've got an interesting Big 12 bracket. I'll give you that.
I like to take chances, and some brackets are blown, and that was mine. I chose. So moving on to the Pac-12 now. Colorado, Arizona State. I'm way off the bandwagon.
You don't even have the Arizona State matchup.
Yeah, no, I have Colorado because Arizona State it's already lost to Colorado. So, scoring update for the Syracuse Wake Forest game: 15-4 right now. Cuse, and Wake Forest is looking like they missed their flight or something. They're not even showing up yet.
They're looking like a true 11-19 team.
Against a 19-12 team. I mean,
yeah.
Is this a home game? What's going on? Sorry. Back to my Pac-12 thinking. California, Stanford. I'm on the Stanford bandwagon with you, Steffan, for this round at least.
I like it.
Washington State, Oregon. Oregon's turned on their 5th gear all of a sudden, shown up for their last couple games. I think they just wheeled off a win against Arizona.
Yep.
The last couple of weeks. So I can't pick against, especially Washington State. Although Washington State's been doing well as of late, but not obviously well enough to get them above 11 seed. So had to go Oregon. Washington State Yeah, Washington's. Oregon State versus Washington. I'm going Mike Hopkins because, Syracuse. And Pac-12 Coach of the Year. Advancing to the next round. Leads them to USC, who hasn't, Steffan, I think you called their game. You said Washington was going to beat them, and you called it, and you got it right. So I'm going with your pick there.
I think that was earlier in the season, though. I think USC, but I'll get to my thinking.
Utah, Oregon. Just at some point, I don't know what I was thinking on that one, so we'll just go on to the next one. Stanford, UCLA. I got the regular season championship. I've already lost the major upset I had. I just kind of phoned it in from there. Not gonna lie. Just be happy I didn't go all chalk like I said I was going to.
Oh, yeah.
Stanford, UCLA. Let's go Cardinals. The last time I went against Stanford, that didn't work out well with me, so try to keep them on my football top 25. I'm not going to – I've learned my lesson, Steffan. I'm going to and I just don't trust UCLA to be a team that shows up. Oh, Frank Howard with the miss there. Colorado at Arizona versus Arizona. I swear I've only had a beer. This is still full. Arizona.
See, how come you're thinking doesn't?
I don't like Arizona either.
How come it doesn't carry over? Because Colorado beat Arizona State and Arizona in the same week, but apparently it only works against Arizona State.
Because for some reason Arizona's all of a sudden discovered how to win. I don't know. I'm not even a huge Arizona fan. I do not like them, and I have them winning it all. I don't know what I was thinking when I did this. Maybe I was drunk when I did that.
You might have been.
All right.
You didn't have Washington winning it all.
I thought about it. Thought about having them meet in the championship, but I know that's not going to happen. 20-4. Damn. All right. You can take Corey's Pac-12 picks.
All right. So Corey's got the whole Arizona State over Colorado.
Did I change this? Oh, I guess he picked Arizona State. That's probably the only difference, I guess.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. Well, yeah. You guys have the exact same bracket. So I guess
really separating us.
Basically everything that Kevin said, except for Arizona State can actually beat Colorado. So we got them over Colorado. He's high on Stanford. I think after Stanford went into Arizona State and beat them, he just decided to jump on the Stanford bandwagon. Not enough to beat Arizona, but to compete to the semis. I'm not really sure what this whole mindset is with Utah, but each their own.
You just don't understand.
And you guys are high on Washington. I think Corey's gotten burned a few times by Washington.
I'm surprised he's actually going this way.
Yeah, he wasn't. I didn't think he was a big fan of Washington. He's got the old Arizona-Utah matchup as well, and with Arizona winning it. So you guys aren't really going to gain or lose ground on each other in this one. We go over to mine. I've got quite a bit different. Well, not quite. A decent amount different. I got Arizona State. I think they're better than Colorado. I think Colorado's just kind of... I think it's a toss-up game. I mean, either team could probably win, but I think Colorado just gets lucky every once in a while. Stanford, I'm riding that same Stanford train you guys are riding. I think we're all on board there. So that means they're going to lose to California first round. So fuck us all. I got Oregon. I think Oregon, like you were saying, playing hot lately. I got them riding that all the way to the championship. And apparently winning. I think I changed that at some point. I think I had Arizona. Ride that train. I got Oregon State over Washington. I was high on Washington for most of the year, but I don't know. I was looking at something. I don't even remember what I was looking at, but I must have been looking at their wins and losses and
the previous matchup against Oregon State that they lost.
Maybe that might be it. And then I don't think Oregon State can beat USC, so USC's got to go on to the next one.
That and you hate you hate Syracuse, so you hate Mike Hopkins by association.
Yeah, for the most. But I picked him. I picked their team like a couple times throughout the season.
Why you didn't. Maybe that means it's gonna come through for me then.
Maybe. I just need to make sure Oregon gets me to the championship. Otherwise, I'm fucked on this.
Yeah, you're all high on Oregon all of a sudden. I remember a couple of weeks ago you were too.
Yeah,
burned you.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
maybe they'll play because I think they pretty much have to win to get in. I don't think they're getting an at-large bid.
No.
So maybe they'll have that extra momentum carrying them through. Extra motivation.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find the theme music to our next tournament. Remember the old days where you're all excited to watch the Big East tournament? They always had like some cool theme music.
No, I never got that excited about watching them.
I think it was
just kidding.
Madison Square, you gotta be there at the Big East. Let's see if I can find it. 2012, is that far enough back? Oh yeah.
St. John has defeated Boston College.
Apparently not.
Royals are the champions. They are the Big East champions for the first time.
Pittsburgh's first ever Big East championship.
McNamara, 3-point roll!
I knew that was in there. That's why I wanted
All right, so now we got the Big East tournament.
The Big East, Madison Square, you gotta be there, the Big East.
I'm just taking St. John's because they beat Duke and Villanova in the same matter of 5 days. So
that and Georgetown hasn't shown up lately.
No, Georgetown, I haven't liked them since very early on. Marquette, I've loved them all year, and it was actually tough for me not to pick them to win over Villanova, but I'm trying to bring home this trophy, so I figured I'd go with the team that I should pick.
Trying to add to your thumb collection.
Not the team I want to pick. St. John's not going to pull off an upset, I don't think, against Xavier. They're not that good. Creighton Providence, this was a tough game for me. I've kind of liked Providence most of the year, but I've also liked Creighton. I think Creighton's the better team. I think it'll be a good matchup, though. As I said, I couldn't pick Marquette, unfortunately, as much as I love them. Couldn't pick them. And then Seton Hall, Butler's been kind of up and down all year. Seton Hall had a bad stretch for a while, but they've started coming back on, so I think they'll get through to meet Villanova, and Villanova will beat Seton Hall because every time I've picked Seton Hall to beat Villanova, they did not beat them, so I'm not going to do it again. And I've got Creighton taking down Xavier. Xavier's that team I just always pick to lose, and they never do, and I'm sure they won't lose that game either, but I picked it anyway. And then I got Creighton Villanova, and Villanova's champ.
Sorry, I was just watching Brissett admire his air ball. All right, so that leads me to Corey's Big East, right?
Yep.
And he's apparently St. John's high too. Taking Xavier past them in the next round, and then he's also taking Creighton, so he's got the 1-4. He pretty much went chalk after that. Marquette.
Yeah. Except for the champion.
Seton Hall, and then he's taking Nova all the way. As for me, I don't even know what I did, so let's find out. We're going to find out together. Oh, I went chalk.
Hey.
Georgetown.
Oh, you literally went chalk the whole way. You decided after that Big 12 and Pac-12, you're like, maybe I should go chalk for one.
Let's play it safe on something.
Let's try to recover in one of these tournaments.
Because, the Big East tournament always works out like this, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Never any upsets.
Wait until the SEC comes around. Oh, that's next. Look at that.
Hey.
All right. I'm taking Georgia with the win over Vanderbilt because, Vandy's awesome. And then Ole Miss is just not existent, so I took South Carolina there. Texas A&M, Alabama, all high and mighty on Alabama and the Crimson Tide right now.
Didn't they just play too?
Probably.
I think that was one of our picks, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I took Texas A&M too.
Remember, I picked against Texas A&M, and Texas A&M won.
Yeah. They're out for revenge now. So I've got Georgia. I like how you filled in my bracket for me. Thanks, Steffan.
Which part? Oh, the numbers.
The numbers, yeah. Georgia, Missouri. I'm taking Missouri. Why not? What's Georgia done? Mississippi State versus LSU. I feel like this is Corey's team. That's why I picked it. And then South Carolina, Arkansas, taking Arkansas because what's South Carolina done?
Well, I mean, they were in the Final Four last year.
Yeah, but what have they done lately? It's not what you did before, because if that's the case, 6 Final Fours to Gonzaga's 1. Okay. Auburn, Missouri, taking Auburn, even though they've been limping lately, apparently. And then Tennessee, Florida. Florida's been red hot. Why not? See, it can rhyme and everything. Auburn, wow. Florida. I kind of want to go Florida, but I picked Auburn just because. Why not?
Now's your chance to change it if you want to change it.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't care. Never doubt your first guess, because then you're just going to hate yourself if it turns out the other way.
Yeah, I know. That's what always happens to me with my bracket.
I've already learned this in other sports predictions that we've done. So, on to Corey's SEC. This should be exciting. Ooh, it is. Ooh. All right. So, I think this is safe to say, like, Corey's upset of the tournaments so far, at least. Arkansas all the way to the championship. Taking Mississippi State as well.
As much as he hated it on my Arkansas being in the top 25, he's
all on him. Not a believer in Florida and their hotness, and he's taking Kentucky to the semifinals. I think. When's the last time Kentucky not been involved in the finals in the SEC tournament? I think this is safe to say one of those years it might happen.
Good possibility. But at the same time, they've got the talent if they could just play well.
Yeah. Or just show up.
Yeah. Basically.
He's basically got... Like, I'm trying to think of what he would say. Auburn as a champion as well, so I guess I feel a little safer now that I have someone agreeing with me, so I won't lose too many points. And that, and then Steffan, go ahead and explain your-ness.
All right. Like I was on the Georgia and South Carolina train as well. I just don't think Vanderbilt and Ole Miss are very good. I also went with Alabama, even though they just lost, apparently. So.
Hold on, let me get that train going for you. That's from Back to the Future, by the way.
Oh.
I typed in train whistle, and that's what it gave me. So,
unlike Corey, I'm not jumping on Georgia for a second game against Missouri. I believe Missouri also. I'm pretty sure that Michael Porter is playing in the tournament. I could be wrong. He hasn't played all year, really. So,
do you think he should risk it? Missouri's been that team that they've been impressing me lately. So
they've been playing well even without him. Even I remember early in the year they kind of struggled a little bit in the SEC conference play, but But recently, I think you're right. They have been playing pretty well. I still do not like Mississippi State, so I'm going LSU. Fuck you, Mississippi State. Hope you lose. Then my Arkansas. Wow, I even picked Arkansas over Florida. Jeez. All right.
You're a true believer in your own words.
And then I like Tennessee. I've liked them for most of the year. I like them to beat North Carolina at home, and they didn't pull that one off for me. But Kentucky, I believe, like I said, has the talent. I feel like they might kick it into gear here in the tournament. And like you said, Auburn's kind of been limping towards the end of the season here. I think they have enough to beat Alabama, but I think Kentucky's going to take them down. Kentucky, Tennessee in the championship, and going with Tennessee. Tennessee to win it all.
The Volunteers. All right, on to the conference formerly known as the Big East, and then some. The American. America. Not
to be confused with the America East Conference. This is the American Athletic Conference.
The American Athletic Conference. The United States of America. Wait. No, that's not.
I'm apparently still on that SMU bandwagon.
Can't get up.
At least over UConn. I don't like UConn. South Florida is just awful, so I got Memphis beating them. East Carolina is not much better than South Florida. UCF I'm not really super impressed with, but they seem to be involved in a lot of low-scoring games from what I saw. But I think they can at least get past East Carolina. And then Temple, going over the Green Wave of Tulane. I just don't know what the fuck a Green Wave is, so I'm not gonna pick you. Sorry.
It's what happens every month for women.
Is that what
that's
you
wrong color. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like infected or something. So that ain't right. And then I got Cincinnati over SMU.
If you're having fun now, folks, wait until next week when I have to do shots of Jameson.
Yeah. By the way, are we doing... Just a little off topic here, but maybe people want to know. Are we doing this on Sunday?
I can't. Well, unless you guys want to stay up late. I have to work until 5. So I won't get home. I won't get home until 6.
Sunday show.
I won't get home until like 6 my time, so 9 your time.
Right.
And then I'd have to get all set up and actually like look at things, and we'll just stick with Tuesday. I feel like we'll have some time to digest.
I don't think you ever mentioned that, so I just thought that was the plan that we were going to do Sunday. I thought that you were on board with that. That's fine.
Yeah, I sent it when we were arguing. Maybe that's why you're forgetting.
Yeah. Memphis and Tulsa.
And by the way, folks, when we argue, it's nothing but love.
That's what you want to call it.
I mean, we're frenemies. It's very rare that we get along this as long as we have. I think it's the nicest we've been to each other in a while.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I do like Memphis, but apparently not enough to beat Tulsa.
We'll
see if Tulsa can pull that off. I'm going to jump on with Houston for a little bit, I guess.
Houston!
They've been playing well.
Over Wichita State?
Got them over Wichita State.
The shot.
Wichita State's set. They're probably going to... They have a good chance of winning it all. But we'll see. Cincinnati been playing very well all year. I think that they'll just be too much for Houston to handle, as they have been.
Is this technically a major conference? Because, I mean, upsets aren't allowed to happen in non-major conferences. So
yeah. What upsets? What do you mean?
Houston over Wichita State? I mean,
it's not a huge upset.
Huh?
It's not a 4 over a 1. That was in the SEC. whoever won.
All right. On to Corey's magnificent America conference.
See what kind of bullshit he's in.
Whoa, damn.
He's got some rock chalk. Jayhawk. Just chalk. Chalk. And he's got SMU. Then he went chalk. Chalk.
Shock.
And shock.
Speaking of shocking, Wake Forest is back in the game, 26-22 now.
Wow.
Bum, bum, bum.
Could be the beginning of the end.
You shut your dirty whore mouth. So he's going Shockers, which means I am also going Shockers. No,
of course you are.
I've been on the Wichita State bandwagon to begin with, and I'm going UConn because fuck all y'all. Going chalk until apparently Memphis, Tulsa. Then after that, all chalk.
Chalk. Except for the shock. Shock.
At the end. It's my move. ACC underway, so a lot of our
currently in action.
Our picks are locked and loaded.
We're all 2 for 2.
So my ACC is based on what I believe needs to happen, at least the bottom half for Syracuse. And then I filled out the top half because I think that's where the winner's going to come from. Let's see here. Boston College just beat Georgia Tech earlier today. Same with Notre Dame over Pittsburgh. Syracuse apparently is struggling with Wake Forest all of a sudden after jumping out to like a 24-7 lead. So there's that. Florida State, Louisville. I'm like back and forth on Florida State. I just haven't been impressed enough with Louisville. You can always tell when I know what I'm talking or know a little more about teams when like I talk more about why I picked instead of like,
Right.
I think the end of the road for Boston College is against NC State. They've been hot lately versus not. Hence the 5 seed. Virginia Tech over Notre Dame because Virginia Tech, why not? And then I haven't been impressed with North Carolina. So honestly, I can easily see there's usually that one shocking upset. I can see Syracuse upsetting North Carolina. They just lost to them by a couple points in the Dome 2 weeks ago, so it's not out of the realm. And then they'd face Miami, who they beat in Miami, so obviously going Syracuse there. Duke, Virginia Tech. I was back and forth on this one, mainly because I don't like Duke, and I didn't let my bias get the best of me, and I picked Duke because Grayson Allen's been pretty hot lately. Even with the return of what's-his-face, Wiggum. Is that his name?
Bagley,
there we go.
You were close.
Yeah, you knew who I was talking about. And then NC State over Clemson because they just lost to Syracuse, so why not NC State over Clemson? That was my thinking there. That was my thinking. Florida State, Virginia. I believe they're going to be my team that I have going all the way this year. I've just been impressed with them. Consistency, mainly. And then Virginia over NC State. And then Duke. Boeheim's run comes in to an end in the semifinals. Hopefully not in the first round, like it. Having heart palpitations right now watching this game. And Virginia over Duke because I just haven't been that impressed with Duke to win it all. But you know what? Shocking things have happened in the ACC, especially with Duke. They always seem to turn it on around tournament time and surprise a couple individuals, including myself. It's my turn to do Corey's.
Yes. Yep.
All right. So Corey picked. Oh, wow. I'm surprised. North Carolina fan, mind you. So picked Boston College, picked Notre Dame, picked Syracuse. Then he picked Florida State over Louisville. I'm guessing he's been high on Florida State too, so not a surprise there. North Carolina State over Boston College. Boston College is not an impressive team, is I believe what he would say. And Virginia Tech, Notre Dame. He's taking Notre Dame. I don't know why he's picking the Irish, other than the fact that they've looked okay in the last couple of games. Maybe I'm just not on that train where, yeah, they've won the last couple, but I mean, they're just not consistent to me. They look good in Maui, and then what's-his-face got hurt, and I'm guessing that's what he's going off of is their last couple games. And then he's taking North Carolina over Syracuse, which I don't agree with.
But not surprised with.
Not surprised. I think this is more a hope.
More a hope for him?
Yeah. He's picking with his head instead of his heart.
No.
He knows.
You're picking with your heart.
I'm just going to go and fix this for him because he knows Syracuse is going to win this game. Because, Jim's got Roy's number. 2003, baby. No. Florida State versus Virginia. He took Virginia. And then Clemson over NC State. He's been high on Clemson. Apparently, he didn't even realize Syracuse beat him this past weekend. So there's that. Enjoying that vacation a little too much. Maybe let the sun affect his head that way. Is it even sunny where he's at?
I think so.
Did they get hit with the nor'easter too?
I don't know.
And then Duke Notre Dame. Taking Duke. The road ends for Notre Dame. If Notre Dame does make it this far, do you think they make it in the tournament? I know they're a bubble team. Or should we talk about this in your Steffantology?
Yeah, we can talk about my Steffantology.
Okay. And then Miami, North Carolina. Still high on North Carolina, in my opinion. And then he's taking Duke over North Carolina, which was the shock I'm getting from this tournament. I don't know why he's all of a sudden high on Duke. And, well, I guess he picked them last week, but maybe he just doesn't realize that they're out for revenge this time. Virginia over Clemson, and then he's got Duke over Virginia for some reason. Some reason. I think he thinks they're better or something. Let's move on to Steffans. Ooh, Steffan and I agree on something. Whoa. Other than the North Carolina.
Well, I go in Boston College, obviously Notre Dame. I do have Syracuse hopefully pulling off this game.
They're starting to pull away again.
I think you're a little bit behind me, what I'm seeing. Well, I don't have up, I'm just seeing the score.
30-24?
Yeah. I don't consider that pulling away.
Well, it's a little more under control. Situation, crisis, under control.
As much as I haven't liked Florida State, they've proven me wrong time and time again, so I'm going to finally pick them, and Louisville will probably finally win. So
I'll show
be
you.
Pissed. Like you said, NC State is just a better team than Boston College. I'm going. I think Corey's probably in the same mindset, and it's kind of what you were saying with Notre Dame. They finally have everybody healthy. They're playing better. This team was in the top 5 in the country early on in the year. They got hit with some injuries, kind of put them back a little bit. But I think they've been playing well, and I mean, if that team can start clicking like they were in Maui, they're definitely a team to be reckoned with.
You almost got me yelling, grab the damn ball. Sorry.
North Carolina, I think, is just too much for Syracuse. I mean, if Syracuse is going to struggle away because they are, I don't see them putting up much of a fight against North Carolina this time around.
You know what? They struggled with Wake all during the season. North Carolina struggled with Syracuse, so take that for what it's worth.
This is my time, okay? So you shut your mouth.
No, I will not when it comes to Syracuse. I blended with the wall, damn it.
Virginia has been very, very good all year. Their defense as always, is phenomenal. So,
Did
and
you,
I don't like Florida State, so I'm
did
okay
you know
with
this
picking
is a
Virginia.
corner?
Huh? Oh, that's a corner.
Yeah, I didn't even realize. You don't even notice it.
No, you can't tell. Then I've got Clemson, even though they just lost to crummy old Syracuse. I think they can take down NC State.
Gonna use that as motivation. Yes.
Good. Duke over Notre Dame. I do like Notre Dame, but Duke is a different level of competition in my eyes than Pittsburgh and Virginia Tech. So I don't think they'll take down Duke.
All right, it is halftime, and Wake Forest ended on a 15-5 run, but Syracuse is up 30-24.
Not a big fan of Miami. I think I've made that known for most of the year.
Not a fan of a hurricane.
So I'm going with North Carolina. I'm going to ride Corey's message of them being one of the hottest teams going into March, currently. And I'm just going to keep riding with that.
Even though they kind of stumbled.
Virginia over Clemson. I just think Virginia is tough to beat. Not going to happen. I think North Carolina is going to get revenge over Duke. They've been really good, but they've had moments where they've kind of fallen off and not looked as great. So I think this will be one of those games. And then Virginia, North Carolina. I think Virginia is just too much for North Carolina. That's where the train ends for me in North Carolina.
So we're all going Virginia, which means Duke's other than Corey and with Duke. But I mean, we all have Virginia in the finals, which means they're probably going to lose in the first game.
Yeah, they'll lose to Florida State.
That rare 1-seed loss early on. On to Mountain West. Why did we? Oh, because of Nevada. Is that why we have this?
They got some decent teams. They got Boise State. Come on. New Mexico, Fresno State, San Diego State.
Yeah, just because
Wyoming.
Just because you can beat Gonzaga doesn't mean you're decent.
None of these teams beat Gonzaga. So
excuse you, San Diego State did, sir. How dare you not even know your own team's lost?
You got UNLV versus Air Force. I'm going with the Running Rebels.
It's not like your team has a lot of losses. At least it's a little harder for me in my 11.
Running Rebels are going to knock off the Air Force. Utah State, Colorado State. Neither team really looks impressive to me on paper. So I went with Colorado State on this one. Wyoming, San Jose State. San Jose State just looked god-awful. So I'm going with Wyoming on that one. The Cowboys.
Yeah.
Nevada, UNLV. I think they have a really good team. Running Rebels, I don't think is that great where they're going to be able to knock off Nevada. Fresno State, San Diego State. Fuck you, San Diego State. Don't like you. I'm going Fresno State.
That's a good reason. You beat my team. I hate you.
Boise State and Colorado State. Like I said, I wasn't impressed with Colorado State either. I think Boise State's a pretty good team. New Mexico and Wyoming. I'll take the Lobos of New Mexico. I'll ride with them. Going chalk there. Chalk. Nevada, Boise State. I'm going to go with the upset, and I'm going to take Boise State over Nevada for the championship.
All over their D.
All over.
No,
I think I actually tried making that pick in the regular season, and it did not work out for me. So why not try it again?
Not a huge Boise State fan, but we'll get to there.
Yeah, we'll get to there.
Then
we got Corey's magnificent bracket.
Took San Diego State.
He's got UNLV as well. He went Utah State over Colorado State. Not sure what he saw in Utah State, but maybe he just looked at the seeds. Just decided to pick by seeds.
Maybe. I mean.
Wyoming over San Jose State. Like I said, San Jose State, not very good, so I'm okay with him picking that one. He did not go chalk for the semis. Picked San Diego State upsetting Fresno State. Got a win over Gonzaga, so it's understandable. Got Boise State, New Mexico. He's going chalk into the championship. Nevada versus Boise State, and I can't blame him for picking Nevada. I don't think Boise State beat Nevada this year. So, but it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year. So we'll see.
We will see. Which means I have no idea what I'm about to talk about. So let's click and find out.
Yours is exactly the same as
look
Corey's.
at that. So let's move on to Atlantic 10. Go Wyoming. Atlantic 10 is our final one. I thought this would never end.
Dude, I could have done this shit all day.
So LaSalle versus UMass. I'm doing UMass because my wife's alum. So a little support there. You're welcome. George Washington, Fordham. Just George Washington because, I live in Washington, so why not? And Fordham, I mean, what have they done?
Not a whole lot.
As of right now, we'll talk about that later. Sorry, I got sidetracked by the halftime stuff. Right. St. Louis versus George Washington. I'm taking the what are they? The Billikens?
The Billikens, yeah.
Maybe I'll save that for Corey's. Little preview. Richmond versus Dunquise.
Duquesne.
There we go. Doesn't matter because Richmond's going out.
Spiders.
And then Mason. Just because why not? I like George Mason when they
you didn't want to support UMass that much.
Yeah, they got the one courtesy nod, tip of the hat.
Yeah.
I'll be happy if they even get that.
That's all you're getting.
Yeah. VCU Dayton. VCU all the way. Go Rams.
All the way till the next round, and that's it.
To Rhode Island. Rhode Island, who's been struggling lately. I got them winning over VCU because they're due.
Think they're getting back on track.
They're due for a win. I mean, it's the Atlantic 10. Let's not get the 8 seed over 1 seed. That never happens in type of tournaments. George Mason over St. Joseph just because I like George Mason, like I said earlier.
Big fan of George Mason.
Final Four run, baby, back in 2013 or whenever they did it.
It was like an 11 seed or something, weren't they? 12 seed.
Double digits. Did it before Syracuse did it.
Maybe they were I don't even remember.
They were high.
Yeah, they were high. They were like an 11 or 12 or 13 or something.
I know they were double digits. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And the St. Bonaventure Bonnies, baby, over Richmond. Doing this for personal preference mainly because
I think we all knew where you were going with this tournament.
Yeah, Davidson over St. Louis. Belkin's run ends at 1. So does Davidson because St. Bonaventure moves on. And then George Mason loses to Rhode Island. So I basically think both these teams are in the tournament. We'll discuss it in a little bit. Especially if they make it into the finals against each other. St. Bonaventure already beat Rhode Island lately, I believe.
Most recently, yes.
Most recently is the words you want to use. I'm going to say lately. And I'm going to stick with it because Rhode Island has been struggling, and I think St. Bonaventure has been rolling 12 in a row, as I said earlier. They're going to make it 15 in a row going into the tournament. Shocking Sweet 16 team preview. We'll find out in next week's podcast. That'll be fun. Like I said, 3 shots. Who knows? I'll be that oddball vote. I can't wait to be the deciding vote. I think I should be anytime I have to be a deciding vote, I'll do a shot. How about that?
Wow.
No, I'm not that brave.
Maybe you should just do a sip of beer.
Yeah, that'll be easier.
Because I feel like you'll probably be a deciding vote in a lot of them.
The judge has ruled. No. All right. So Corey's thinking here. Apparently not a huge UMass supporter going LaSalle. I'm disappointed. I thought you would support my wife's alumnus. I should have learned from the ACC apparently. George Washington over Fordham. going chalk there. Surprising upset. Dayton over VCU, I know. Amazing. And then he's got George Mason over LaSalle. And Duquesne. Sorry. 5th time's a charm for me. Okay. Duquesne over Richmond. I didn't even realize this. Spoiler alert. St. Louis losing to George Washington. Another upset for him. Because, upsets never happen, Corey. I don't even understand why you're picking this. This would never happen in this type of environment. I don't understand why you're picking this, Corey. And I'm disappointed in you. And you're banned from the rest of this podcast because I can't even. Oh wait, you picked St. Bonaventure. We'll go on. No, Davidson, St. Bonaventure, in one semi. He's going St. Bonaventure, Rhode Island, St. Joseph's in the other one because he went chalk the rest of the way until the finals where he picked St. Bonaventure. Steffan, your hatred towards St. Bonaventure. Whoa, what the? I think this is where I feel confident. I still have a shot. Jesus.
We'll see.
We'll see. We will see. I mean,
listen. Some people pick San Francisco over Gonzaga. Other people like to pick, St. Joseph's over Rhode Island, or Davidson over St. Bonaventure.
Whew.
Oh, let's go back to the beginning. I got LaSalle. I'm not.
Do you wanna change your pick to UMass? I'll give you the.
No,
obligatory.
I don't.
Okay.
No, I'm good. I'm good with LaSalle. LaSalle battled with Rhode Island. I don't think UMass battled with Rhode Island at all this year, so I'm gonna have to stick with LaSalle on that one.
I'm gonna fact check you on that one.
All right, go ahead. I also not a big fan of Fordham, as none of us were. So going George Washington there. Taking the Flyers over VCU. Another big upset, 9-8. There's a big upset for you. I'm gonna take LaSalle. I'm gonna one up your LaSalle or your UMass, and I'm gonna take them over George Mason. I'm not a big fan of George Mason.
How dare you?
I'm gonna say they're one and done. They're out. I'm also taking the Spiders of Richmond to beat Duquesne. And the St. Louis Billikens, are going to beat George Washington.
Before you move on, I just want to point out that Rhode Island faced UMass twice this year. First one, not a close one, 73-51. I believe it was in Rhode Island. Yeah, at Rhode Island. The second matchup, a little bit of a barn burner, 85-83. In UMass.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
UMass or Rhode Island, not a big fan of playing away from home.
Yeah, I don't think they like road games very much. I've got the Cinderella run here for LaSalle is going to end with St. Joseph's. St. Joseph's just knocked off Rhode Island not too long ago. I'll give St. Bonaventure the win over Richmond, but it's about as far as it's going for them. Davidson, I think, just beat Rhode Island not too long ago also, so I like their team. St. Bonaventure also beat Rhode Island, but I don't like their team. I'm just not a fan of them. So I'm going Davidson there.
I'm going to let you in on a secret. Davidson hasn't been relevant since Steph Curry. Oh.
Well, you'll find out that they're relevant this year when they win the Atlantic 10, giving them securing a berth, hopefully stealing St. Bonaventure's chances of making it to the tournament.
Syracuse. Jesus, you dirtbag.
That's all I got for him.
All right. Oh, I never played our Journey to the Tourney.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, well. To the Madness Spotlight. Well, the journey. All right. enough, Kevin. Calm down.
Kevin, cut it out.
Did we talk about St. Bonaventure yet?
I don't think so.
No, we haven't. We kind of skipped right into it. All right, so it worked us out. Hey, look at that. So, leading into St. Bonaventure talk, we have my favorite team of the year. No, not really. I've been rooting for St. Bonaventure mainly because I have a 12-pack of beer on the line. Thanks, Steffan. That's our old bets. Now we're going into shots of liquor on air. That's going to be exciting. Maybe we should do like one beforehand just to get it going. Get the tires lubed. Like,
we should all do one. Is that what you're saying?
No, like me. Since next week I have to do 3. I mean, you guys are more than welcome to join in. I am required to do 3 shots next week, which is gonna make it fun. I feel like you guys will like pick. I think that should be a good rule. Since I have to produce and do all this work, I should be the deciding vote. Since I'm not gonna realize what I'm doing anyway.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think that's how we did it last year anyway.
Well, we took turns. Corey wanted us to take turns, and I think I'm going to step in and be like, no. If you guys need me to be the deciding vote, I'll decide. Because, I don't know. We'll discuss later.
Right. We'll figure it out.
We'll do this. Right. So, we talk about our number 25 team, St. Bonaventure, this week. 24-6, 14-4 in the Atlantic 10. With an RPI of 22 and a BPI of 56. What that means, folks, is that they're ranked somewhere between 1 and 350 something out of some computer poll and yada, yada, yada. Strength of schedule, 83. Now we get to the points I really like because it's stuff, well, I don't know about the turnover margin. That's not updated, by the way, Steffan. That's from last time. Okay. So we'll skip over that. But points per game, 78.0. 3-point percentage, 39.7, which ain't too shabby for the whole team.
Shoot pretty well.
Rebounds per game, 35.9. This is where I get a little nervous. They allow 70.4 points per game. I like how Corey changed that to defense so he understood what it meant.
What did I have it at?
I think we had it as something else, like points allowed or something.
No, I think I had it at defense, and he didn't understand what defense meant.
Yeah, something like that. I just remember him being like, points per game, what's that mean? Like,
yeah. I think I just put defense, and then I didn't have the points per game afterwards.
Oh, all right. Yeah, poor Corey. No defense for him. Their leading scorer is Jalen Adams, a senior point guard, averaging 20.5 points per game, 3.6 rebounds per game, and 5.3 assists. I believe he is their point guard, so why not? Yeah, I did say that. Hey, look at that. I made notes there. Huge wins over Buffalo in Buffalo, 73-62. Almost made it through with a straight face there. At Cuse. Big Power 5 team. Anytime you win there is pretty impressive, including a win against Maryland / Vermont on neutral courts. And then Rhode Island, of course, by 3. You're welcome. Bad losses. Oh, losses. Bad losses. Losses, TCU by 10. That was in a tournament, right?
Yeah, it was I don't know what tournament it was, but it was a neutral court.
And then they lost at Rhode Island by 14, and Davidson so they're not going on the road, is what I'm gathering from all this information.
So yeah, this thing about you surprised that I picked Davidson over St. Bonaventure. They already beat them by 10 once. Why can't they do it again?
Because it was at Davidson and not a neutral court.
Okay.
Dayton, a bad loss. Also a bad loss, even though Steffan doesn't know how to spell it correctly, Niagara. And then at St. Joseph's. So those are their 6 losses. You forgot, eh? Yeah. Spell check. Who needs it?
Who cares? Then I never even put St. Joseph's RPI in. Cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Everyone's been looking at a Best Buy ad for free, so let's get that off. Because I haven't really been paying attention to what's on the screen. I've been looking at our notes. So this has been the team Steffan and I have been rooting against, that way.
Definitely against.
There's a lot online. It's a $30 bet at least. What, like 52 for you? I can send you some Marion beer, which is like free for me. So a lot more on the line for Steffan than me. If this team makes the tournament, which they are bound to do if they win, their first game, I think we're safe to say at this point.
I would say if they make the championship, they're definitely in. If they just make this, if they lose in the semis, I'd say there's a possibility they could miss out, but they have a good possibility of still making it. And if they lose first game, then yeah, I don't think they're going to make it. But it might also depend on, like, does Syracuse actually make the tournament? Because then is that really a quality win? Not really if they don't make the tournament.
Yeah, well, I feel like Syracuse is a quality one just because you're considering them a bubble team already. So you're already considering them halfway there. Like, I mean, that's how I view that. There are 34 teams that are bubble teams, basically. Anyone that's at large, they're not guaranteed that spot in. So they're the next best 34 out of all of the conferences.
Well, I mean, they're pretty much guaranteed in. Yeah. Like, you have Xavier and Villanova. One of those two teams is guaranteed, or both of those teams are guaranteed to make it.
Yeah. I understand that.
Or Virginia and Duke.
Okay.
Or all those.
You're looking at me like I'm crazy. I get what you're getting at, but
you're trying to tell me that
you're not getting what I'm saying, which is why you're looking at me like that. But basically, unless you win your conference tournament, anything can happen with the selection committee, but you pretty much guarantee you're locked that you're in when you're like Virginia's and Duke's and stuff. Or Kentucky's, even though they might not deserve it. Anywho, this is St. Bonaventure.
Cross our fingers for an early St. Bonaventure.
No, let's not, because we want to see Steffan actually send some beer my way, especially that nectar.
No, I thought you wanted Hop Slam.
That too, a little bit of both.
I saw that on shelves. I should probably grab some for you.
Yeah, before
it's gone.
Yeah. Syracuse starting to pull away again, 38-26. Do we want to do some Steffantology or?
No, I haven't worked on it enough. Maybe what we'll do is maybe me and Corey can do a little short special or something where I can do my Steffantology or something.
Whoa.
Because the way we're gonna do it is we're gonna try to see how many teams I get right and stuff.
Yeah. Do it on Sunday before the picks.
Yeah, maybe we'll just do it while they're making the picks or something.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I mean, it's not going to be that's basically all we're going to talk about is just that. So, and then we can go in depth into the bracket and everything.
On Tuesday?
Yeah. I mean, we could probably, I'm on spring break, so we could even do Monday if you wanted to do Monday, if that works better for you.
No, I can't. I got to work.
All right, that's fine. Tuesday it is.
I mean, we can do it later on Sunday. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Talk to Corey.
I mean, if you're up to missing Walking Dead.
I mean, I'm not so.
I don't know who you guys or how long the podcast is going to be either.
Right. No, I don't think we're going to go because I mean the selection thing is probably going to go starts at 6 or 6:30, I think. Right. I don't even. Maybe it's starting earlier this year. I don't know. Because usually they would wait on the Big Ten to finish.
Yeah, there's another conference tournament though going.
Is there one that's going to finish late?
Yeah. Of course, they got to fill time.
Of course.
I forgot who it was too. It's a conference that I want to say it's the American.
Oh, probably.
It's a conference that shouldn't be where it is, but thanks to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Thanks, Big Ten, for ruining everyone's fun again.
Well, maybe it'll be an excited game. It could be Cincinnati, Wichita. exciting to watch.
It's a jam-packed Sunday, I'll tell you that. Let's see here. We have, starting off, Ivy League finals at noon Eastern, followed by...
Yeah, I kept looking, because remember when Ivy League used to be your first team you would know?
Yeah, because they didn't have a tournament.
Well, I thought that they would still, I figured that they would have just done their tournament early, so they were still, one of the first teams to know.
No, now instead of doing, a full-fledged tournament, they have their top 4 teams go off at each other.
Oh, semis and...
Yeah. So the semis happen on Saturday, and then their finals on Sunday, the first game. SEC,
they only have, 8 teams anyway, right?
Yeah, no one cares about a bunch of rich, spoiled kids. SEC is at, 1 o'clock your time, Eastern. Sorry, it's all in Pacific, so I'm going to have to do math here. And then also Atlantic 10, so we won't even find out about St. Bonaventure winning until later on.
They're not even going to be in the championship, so it don't even matter.
Took you long enough. Sun Belt Conference, highly contested, is at, 2 o'clock? That would be. And then that's on ESPN 2. And then at 3:30, the Aaron's American Athletic Conference Men's Basketball Championship Final from Amway Center in Orlando, Florida, before the tournament selection at 6, I believe you are correct. So hopefully there's no upsets in there, and it's all easy, great stuff.
I hope there's a lot of upsets.
No upsets, because I need Syracuse to make this. Otherwise, it's going to be a boring Thursday of shots for me. I believe that's
boring Thursday of shots. You're doing shots on Thursday?
Yeah, why not? Whenever we're streaming the Watchcast. We'll do
Is that when we're doing the shots? You're not doing them for the podcast? When are you doing them?
I'm doing shots on the podcast because I owe you 3, and I'm a man of my bets. And I believe I threw down the challenge of every one of the first round that we get wrong when we're streaming, we do a shot. And you guys got scared.
Yeah, because that could be a lot of shots. Like Corey was saying, I could get easily 10 wrong on the first day.
Apparently, you guys aren't good at picking the first round.
No, I'm not.
I'm willing to do it. I usually get about half right, so 8.
We'll see.
8 shots throughout the day. I mean, that's manageable.
I still got to try to change my work schedule, so we'll see if I'm even... I'll at least be there for the early games.
Hey, there you go. Ode on the podcast, maybe, then.
I should be able to hopefully get my schedule changed.
Bum, bum, bum. I've got the whole weekend off. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
That's what I'm going to try to do, is have the whole weekend off. I gotta go out and celebrate my birthday also. Birthday.
What is that, 35 for you now?
Feels like it. Big 3-2.
Big 3-2. Oh, God. That means I'm going to be 31 this year.
Yeah.
I'm old. Yeah. Thanks to our no listeners, no watchers. You know, I know you guys wanted to hear that. So next week will be happening on Tuesday. There might
maybe
be
Sunday.
Steffantology podcast coming up. Who knows? It's up to Steffan and Corey at that point. That'd be interesting. Mainly because I won't be a part of it, so I will have no idea what's going on.
You can comment from work, though, can't you?
I'll bring my earbuds so I can have one in and listen to whatever nonsense. Corey should be back for the selection, right?
Yeah, I gotta talk to him, see if he still wants to do that. We'll post about it if there's gonna be anything.
We'll try and streamcast the other game, or the other somewhere in the games. We'll do something. Whether it's for Syracuse making the tournament and then going to the Final Four again as a 10 seed, you know.
That won't happen.
or to watch Gonzaga be out in the first round. Either
that won't happen either.
Or North Carolina out in the first round. We always forget about North Carolina. No one cares about North Carolina as a 6th seed. Go out.
But they did lose to Wofford this year, so I think
anything's possible, especially as a 6th seed. Calling it now, North Carolina 6th seed. 666, right? They finished 6th. They're a 6th seed in the ACC tournament. Syracuse is down by 9, which is an inverted 6. Evil devil in North Carolina.
Jesus. On that note,
always cool. Stay in school. No 8. You live in S-Town.
A-Town, baby.
It's been a show.
It has.
It's actually been a long show. Let's end this nonsense.